Virgo, your spiritual awakening just hit a massive acceleration point, and I'm seeing 3 specific dates that will change everything for you. The first one is happening in just 9 days, and oh my God, you are not ready for what's coming through right now. I just pulled the Fool for you, Virgo, and this is absolutely insane. Because everyone thinks spiritual awakening means you need to have all the answers, but actually, the universe is asking you to become the beginner again. This card is literally screaming at me right now, and I can feel this energy of pure potential just radiating from your reading. Your guides are showing me that 72% of Virgos are going to experience their biggest spiritual breakthrough between now and the next full moon. And if you're watching this right now, that means you're part of this incredible wave of transformation. But here's what nobody else is telling you about this awakening timeline. The Fool is showing me that your spiritual journey has been too structured, too planned, too Virgo. Your soul is craving chaos right now. Divine chaos. I know that sounds terrifying to your Mercury-ruled mind, but listen to me carefully. Your next spiritual level requires you to leap before you look, and trust me when I say this card didn't show up by accident. Look at this beautiful energy coming through. The Fool is standing at the edge of that cliff, with his little dog beside him, and that white rose in his hand represents your pure intentions, Virgo. But that cliff edge? That's where your magic lives. That's where your spiritual gifts are waiting for you to claim them. Your awakening timeline is moving fast, and I need you to pay attention to these specific markers I'm seeing. First marker is happening within the next 10 days. And it's going to feel like a complete identity crisis, but it's actually your soul shedding everything that's been holding you back from your true spiritual power. The second card I'm getting for your spiritual awakening is the Seven of Cups, and wow. This is not what I expected for a practical Virgo, but your guides are being very clear about this. Your spiritual path has too many options right now, and that's actually perfect. Most people think spiritual awakening means finding the path, but you're being shown 7 different cups, 7 different spiritual doorways. One cup contains your psychic abilities that you've been ignoring. Another holds your healing gifts. There's a cup with your connection to nature spirits, one with your ability to channel divine messages, another with your power to manifest through earth magic. The 7th cup? That one's still hidden from me, but it's huge. It's your secret spiritual superpower that even you don't know about yet. But here's what's making my head spin about this 7 of Cups energy. Your analytical Virgo mind keeps trying to research and plan which spiritual path to choose, and your guides are laughing because the point is not to choose just one. You're meant to explore all of them. This is your spiritual buffet phase, Virgo, and you have permission to taste everything. I'm seeing you over the next 6 weeks sampling different spiritual practices, like you're at a cosmic tasting menu. One week, you might be deep in meditation and breath work. The next week, you're working with crystals and energy healing. Then you're studying astrology more seriously, or diving into tarot, or connecting with your spirit guides through automatic writing. Your guides are showing me that this exploration phase is crucial for your awakening timeline because you're not meant to be a one-dimensional spiritual being. You're meant to be a spiritual Swiss Army knife, someone who can adapt and use different tools for different situations. The third card coming through for your spiritual awakening journey is absolutely shocking me right now. I just pulled the 5 of Pentacles, and I know what you're thinking. That's supposed to be about lack and struggle, but no. In your spiritual context, this card is revolutionary. This 5 of Pentacles is showing me that your spiritual awakening requires you to feel spiritually homeless for a while. You're going to outgrow your old spiritual beliefs, your old church or spiritual community, your old ways of connecting with the divine, and for a period of time, you're going to feel like you don't belong anywhere spiritually. But look closer at this card, Virgo. Those 2 figures walking in the snow past that beautiful stained glass window, they're not being rejected from the church. They're choosing to walk past it because they've found something better. They've found their own direct connection to Source that doesn't require anyone else's approval or validation. Your spiritual awakening is making you unemployed from organized religion, from spiritual teachers who want to keep you small, from any system that tells you how you should or shouldn't connect with your higher power. This spiritual homelessness is temporary but necessary. It's creating space for your authentic spiritual identity to emerge. I'm seeing this happening over the next 2 to 3 months, where you might feel spiritually lost or confused, but really you're being prepared for a completely personalized spiritual practice that fits you perfectly. No more trying to squeeze your spiritual gifts into someone else's framework. Now, the fourth card I'm pulling for your awakening timeline is making me emotional because it's so beautiful. The star card just appeared, and Virgo, this is your spiritual North Star for the next phase of your journey. After that period of spiritual wandering and exploration, after feeling temporarily homeless from old belief systems, you're going to find your star. The star represents your unique spiritual mission on this planet. It's not just about your personal awakening anymore, it's about how your spiritual gifts are meant to serve others. That naked woman pouring water from 2 jugs, that's you in about 4 to 6 months, completely vulnerable and authentic in your spiritual power, channeling divine energy both back to source and out to heal the world. Your spiritual gifts are connected to healing, Virgo, but not the way most people think. You're not meant to be doing traditional energy healing or Reiki necessarily, though you could. Your healing gift is about helping people organize their spiritual lives, create practical systems for their spiritual growth, and ground mystical experiences into real-world transformation. You're going to become the person other people come to when they've had a spiritual awakening but don't know what to do with it. You'll help them create daily practices, understand their psychic experiences, and build sustainable spiritual routines that actually work in busy modern life. The star is also showing me water. Lots of water in your spiritual future. You need to be near water more often for your spiritual development. Ocean, lakes, rivers, even long baths or swimming. Water is going to unlock your intuitive gifts in ways that will surprise you. Some of your biggest spiritual downloads are going to happen in or near water. Your 5th card is completely blowing my mind right now. I just pulled the King of Wands, and this is so unexpected for gentle earth sign Virgo. But your guides are being very clear about this masculine fire energy coming into your spiritual awakening. You've been doing your spiritual work very quietly, very privately, very humbly. But the King of Wands is telling me that phase is over. Your spiritual awakening is moving you into leadership. You're going to become a spiritual teacher, guide, or mentor, whether you think you're ready or not. This King of Wands energy is about having the confidence to share your spiritual insights publicly. Maybe that's starting a spiritual blog or YouTube channel. Maybe it's teaching meditation classes or hosting spiritual discussion groups. Maybe it's becoming the person in your friend group who everyone comes to for spiritual advice. But here's what's really exciting about this King of Wands appearing in your spiritual timeline. You're not going to be a soft, ethereal, floaty spiritual teacher. You're going to be practical about spirituality. You're going to teach people how to actually use their spiritual gifts in their daily lives, how to make money doing spiritual work, how to stay grounded while still being connected to higher realms. Your spiritual leadership style is going to be very no-nonsense, very results-oriented. You'll be the spiritual teacher who gives people actual homework, who creates step-by-step programs, who measures spiritual progress in concrete ways. This is revolutionary in the spiritual community where everything is usually so vague and unmeasurable. I'm seeing you developing some kind of spiritual curriculum or program within the next 8 to 12 months. It might start small, maybe just helping one friend organize their spiritual practice, but it's going to grow into something much bigger. You have a gift for making complex spiritual concepts simple and actionable. The 6th and final card I'm pulling for your spiritual awakening timeline is giving me chills. The Hermit just appeared, and this is your long-term spiritual destiny, Virgo. After all the exploration, after the leadership phase, After sharing your gifts with others, you're going to step into the role of spiritual elder and wisdom keeper. But the Hermit isn't about isolation. It's about having gone so deep into your spiritual journey that you become a lighthouse for others. That lantern he's holding contains all the spiritual wisdom you're going to accumulate over the next several years. Every spiritual experiment you try, every awakening experience you have, every person you help, it all gets integrated into this deep well of practical spiritual wisdom. I'm seeing you maybe 3 to 5 years from now as someone people seek out for spiritual guidance, but not in a guru way. More like a spiritual consultant who can look at someone's life and spiritual challenges and immediately see what they need to do next. You'll have this incredible ability to cut through spiritual confusion and get right to the heart of what someone needs for their growth. The Hermit is also showing me that your ultimate spiritual awakening involves recognizing that you've always been connected to Source. You've always had these gifts. You've always been exactly where you needed to be on your spiritual path. All this awakening and growth you're experiencing now is just you remembering who you really are. Your spiritual timeline is moving fast right now, Virgo, and I need you to trust this process even when it feels chaotic or overwhelming. Your earth sign nature wants to plan and control your spiritual growth, but your soul is asking you to surrender to divine timing. The comments are going absolutely crazy right now. Everyone is resonating so hard with this awakening energy, and I can feel all of you Virgos out there having these massive spiritual downloads just from watching this reading. The collective awakening happening for your sign right now is unprecedented. Pay attention to your dreams over the next 2 weeks because your guides are going to be downloading information to you while you sleep. Keep a dream journal by your bed and write down everything you remember, even if it seems weird or doesn't make sense. Your subconscious is processing massive spiritual upgrades right now. Also, watch for repeating numbers, especially 1111, 222, and 555. Your guides are trying to get your attention and confirm that you're on the right spiritual path. When you see these number sequences, pause and ask yourself what you were just thinking about, because that's usually your spiritual guidance coming through. Your spiritual awakening is not just changing you, it's positioning you to change others. The healing gifts you're developing, the practical spiritual wisdom you're gaining, the leadership abilities emerging in you, they're all meant to serve the collective awakening happening on this planet right now. I keep seeing you as this bridge between the mystical and the practical, between the spiritual realm and the everyday world. So many people have spiritual experiences but don't know how to integrate them into their regular lives, and that's where you come in. You're going to be the translator, the organizer, the one who makes spirituality useful. Oh my God, the energy is still building around this reading, and I can feel so many of you having these aha moments right now. Your spiritual awakening is not just about you becoming more intuitive or psychic, though that's happening too. It's about you stepping into your role as a spiritual revolutionary who changes how people think about practical spirituality. Your next steps, starting today, are simple but powerful. First, give yourself permission to explore any spiritual practice that calls to you without committing to it long-term. Try everything that interests you for the next month. Second, start sharing your spiritual insights with others, even if it's just casual conversations with friends. Third, spend more time in nature and near water to accelerate your intuitive development. And most importantly, Virgo, stop trying to figure out your entire spiritual path right now. Your awakening is unfolding in perfect divine timing, and trying to rush it or control it will only slow it down. Trust that each step you take is preparing you for the next one, and that your spiritual gifts are emerging exactly when they're supposed to. The universe has big plans for you, Virgo, and your spiritual awakening is just the beginning. You're being prepared for spiritual leadership and healing work that's going to impact thousands of people. Stay open, stay curious, and trust the process. If you want to dive deeper into your personal spiritual timeline, you know where to find me. But for now, subscribe to catch your next spiritual download, because the energy around your sign is moving so fast that everything could change again by next week. Your spiritual awakening is happening now, Virgo, and it's going to be absolutely incredible.